Hello guys, and welcome to part 2 of the step-by-step guide on how to build a Wix website. So previously we talked about just the basics of the site, just general knowledge on how to get around it. So on this tutorial we're going to go ahead and show you how to create some of the areas like a hero section and just generally building up the home page here and just trying to make it look just a lot tidier for a blog site, especially for the site we're building, which is the ProfileTree one, a ProfileTree blog site. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So here we have our quote unquote like a hero section. So it's been named the welcome. And so a way we can say or sort of state that this is a hero section, I want to just keep ourselves sort of up to date on what we're trying to do. You can go ahead and click on this top right here, and you can even change the section name. So I'm just going to call it hero section. It's just to keep me on track on what I'm changing about. So what they've done is, looks like they've got a couple of strips here, or a strip here with 3 columns, and the 3 columns consist of the 3 images. It's even got like an overlay in the middle there just to keep it aligned. So we're going to go ahead and sort of show you how to create that. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so here we have a blank template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sort of replicate how to create this website, but try to make it better. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll try to do it along the lines of sort of a fashion blog. So So first of all, we want to start off with the header. So as you can see, we've got a header here, and it's asking us to add some elements in. But before we add elements in, what I like to do is I like to add a strip, and it doesn't have to be any of these ones. I just want to go ahead and click on a nice blank white one. Now as you can see, it's sort of extended that out too much for me. So this is when the toolbar comes in, which I showed in the last video. So it's telling me that my height is 400, so I want to try to reduce that maybe to around 200, or maybe even less. Maybe let's say 130. Okay, and then now we've got a lot of blank white spacing. The way to get rid of this is to just double click on this, and that just gets rid of any of the extra height that we had there. So now that first part's done, I want to add, so what's great about a strip is you can add columns, as you can see, and you can even have it so that there's 2 columns. This one I sort of want to push to the left a wee bit, so I want to go ahead and click on manage columns, and on top of that I want to hit layout, and that gives me more proportions. So I want to try to make it a 25-75 proportion, or maybe even 20-80. There we go. Okay, so that means that I've got room to fiddle about with my location and where I want to put my logo, which is the center of this, and I can even manage the column even more. So for this column here, I can see customize that proportion if I want to as well, have some column spacing, or have some padding, and I can even drag this down more if I wanted to. So probably at 15%, which looks a lot better. Okay, perfect. So just so you guys can keep on track of what's going on here, I'm just going to go ahead and change the column background. So I'll just have this one as color blue, and then I'll have this one as color red. Okay, go. So this area here, which is our blue part, what we want to do there is we want to go ahead and add our logo in. So I'll get that in here. Okay, so we could add our logo in or our image in, doing the following. So we'll go ahead and upload an image. We'll go ahead and upload from computer. So I'll just get that sorted. And once you've got that sorted, as you can see, we're using our free sample. So we'll go ahead and add that to the page. And we can go ahead and drag that in. So let's see, we can edit this out. Just for the background. Transparent, that's perfect. Okay. So we'll just adjust it accordingly. So as you can see here, there's an area for you to find the middle within this column. If I adjust this a little bit more, so we'll use the toolbar to get this in the front. So of course that's one way of doing it. Of course, if you got the Wix logo maker, this can come in with a few more different settings, which would look a lot nicer. But another way of adding a logo in, which I like to do sometimes as well, is to just get a little bit creative with the design. So I can have this shape, then we'll go ahead and get some vector art and look for a tree. Okay, so pretty much got the same options with the tree in this one as well. So let's see. So something like that. That looks nice. That was the same one as we had earlier on. Okay. Then I can just adjust that to size. Okay, perfect. So looks like I'm running a little bit out of room. So I want to maybe customize the proportions a little bit there as well. Just maybe bring it back to 25/75. Okay, still find the middle. Perfect. Now I want to get a vertical line. Okay, something along the lines of this one. Okay, we'll bring it up to that there. And bring it up until it's matched. Okay. And then now I want to add some text. So I can add a title, which would be this one. Just drag that into here. Perfect. And then I can have that one saying ProfileTree. Okay. So of course, if we go back to the image, we can try to replicate this sort of image here. Go back to upload image. Okay, so as you can see from that image here, that's how we have it laid out with the palm tree sort of thing there. So we can go ahead and try to look for that palm tree again. Actually better off searching it up. So palm tree. Let's see, circle tree. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got our logo, and that's sort of just how I've designed it, just the design aspect. And of course, what's great about this is you can group these elements together, as you can see, and from these you can link these so that it's home. And you can even do the same with the home page, so that'll be linked to that. And you can even adjust the size if you wanted to. And of course, you need to change the sizing of this so it'll see fit. Just a little bit of adjustment as well. Okay, perfect. And we sort of want to just bring this back up as well. So toolbar, bring that up back up to 130. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so yes, that's the logo done. Now what we want to do is we want to add a header for this site. So I can go ahead and change this back to white just to clarify it's finished. Okay. So now we're moving on to the red bit, which is going to be our menu area. And the way we can do this is if we go to the add elements and we scroll down to menu and anchor. And as you can see from the menus, we've got a list of different options from themed menus, horizontal menus, and vertical menus, but we're going to mainly focus on a horizontal menu. I'm actually going to go ahead and click on a themed one. So just by clicking it, it'll pop up straight away. And I can have that centered to here. Now, as you can see, I've only got one page, so the way to change that about is by doing the following. Just purely for the build of this site, I'm gonna actually just go ahead and create like a outdoorsy vibe site, just because we got that tree, obviously our company name there. So let's see, we can go ahead and click on manage the pages. So that'll direct us to pages and menu. And from here, we can go ahead and add some pages in. So this could be the About Us page, which we'll do so. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on a random one. So I'll just go ahead and click on this one. Add page to that one. Okay, and so now we've got a About Us page. So I'm happy enough with that. Then we're going to create another one, which I want a contact page for this one this time. And we'll just go for a random one there. We'll go ahead and click on maybe this one. Looks good. So these are all pre-built pages, as you can see, or you can go ahead and build one from scratch if you wanted to. But just for the sake of what we're doing, just as a beginner guide, we're going to go ahead and click on some of the pages there. So you can also add some blank pages if you want, as you can see. And we'll just put a random one in, and we'll put in a blog page as well. So we'll go ahead and add blog to Wix. And as I've said earlier on as well, you can add the blog through using the Wix app market, or you can go ahead and add it through the My Business, and that'll direct it up. So now we've got a blogs page area, and we've even got a search bar, which is very, very nice. So we can just have that one setting below probably. So this just requires a little bit of adjustment. So width of that is that. We can change that to 150. Okay. Right, so we've also got a search bar there. Handy to have. Okay, so I'm happy enough with the alignment of that. Now, so we want to get rid of the home since we've got these two linked up now. So just go to menus and pages, go to the site menu, click on the three little dots and hide. So that'll ensure that there's only 4 pages that you can see, which is the About, Contact, Explore Nature and Blog. And if you wanted to rearrange them as well, so we'll add another page. So I can go ahead and adjust these accordingly. So then I'll have Explore Nature first, Sites NNI. What I could do is have blog as that. So yeah, there you go. It's coming along together. I'm pretty happy with that. So this is going to be our header now. So I can go ahead and change the horizontal menu as well. So if I just click on the design part and customize design, we've got a list of different options here from text. So if I wanted to, I can change the color of that, which we'll go ahead and do. Give it like a green color. Okay. So when you hover over it, you've got that green color. Let me see what is the color of that. Okay, we'll just double click on that, go to hover for here and add a color. So that's another thing you could do as well. If you need a specific color as well, you can just click on add, copy and paste the name of it, and then you could just like so apply it onto here. So when it's clicked, it'll stay green. Regular, it'll stay black. Now I'm happy enough with the colors. I want to change the font. So just copying the rest of them, I'm going to go for the Comfort regular. And what's great about this is I can adjust the font sizes. So I can have it maybe at around 18, which is fairly big. So adjust it down to 15. That looks a lot better. I can also add some spacing to this. And then let's see. And what's great about this as well is if I minimize this, as you can see, it all sort of closes in. That gives me enough room to put that site search bar in here. Okay. And I'm happy enough with that. So now we've got this area cleared up. What I want to do is gonna go ahead and change the look of the search. So same thing again, click on the design, and there's a lot of different options here, as you can see. We'll go ahead and customize the design. As you can see, I can add some borders if I wanted to, so I can tone it up a little bit, and then I can even change the fonting inside as well. Have that so it's 15px, bold it out if I want to, And then let's see, background color as well. I can keep it white or I can keep it that green color. And especially since I will be changing the background color of this again to white, you'll start seeing it come together. As you can see. So still a little bit more modifying to do for the search, which we'll do so now. Okay. So for the corner, we've done the corner. We don't want any shadow. We don't want any opacity there. We don't want any edges. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Well, we could add a little border style. Just say at all sides and then px that to 1. Okay, icon is fine with me. And then if you wanted to as well, you can change the placeholder. So have it like that. Okay, so maybe it doesn't look too good like that. We'll just have it so that if it's like that, it's color white. And if you hover over it, then it's color green. Okay. Right, and then we'll also move this search bar so that it's a little bit more far forward. And then decrease that as well. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's sort of like the main structure of what we've got going on here. So we've got our horizontal menu here. And what I want to do actually is I want to adjust that so that it's more leaning towards the left side. So I'll click on this again, manage that column, go ahead and click on the layout, and I want to manage it to the left side. So if I click on this, okay, that looks good to me, so I'll preview that, and then we'll just see what the outcome looks. Okay, so we've got our search bar here, and that works fine. Got our, as you can see, it sort of like changes color if you hover over that. So that's our first part done. We'll go back to editor here. We'll actually just adjust this a little bit more outside of the ring. Okay. Okay, so now we want to add some socials. If we have some socials, we can do so right now. And I can go ahead and I'm just going to search up socials here. Okay, we'll add a social bar. So it's located in the social and social bar. I'll just go for the black and white for the meantime. And I can have that just below here. And now you're thinking it's a little bit too big. Well, don't worry, we can change the layout. So as you can see, there's icon changes there, and you can even space them out. Okay, so I can have it just here below. And then what's great about this as well is I can set my social links, so I can change the colors of this if I wanted to by replacing the icon. So if I search for the very same icon and search up Instagram, as you can see, there's different colors here. Just showing an example. If I save that, that'll be pink. So that's one way of doing it. And if you wanted to delete some icons, you can do so by removing the image. And these links, they will work as you've got like a link area just below it here. You can even alter the text if you wanted to. So that's that part. And then as you can see, I've got a little bit of spacing there, so I sort of want to increase the spacing so it looks a lot nicer. See how 15 fares out. So maybe a little bit smaller, so maybe 13. that might be a little bit better. Okay, there we go. So now that's all aligned, have a preview at the site here. Okay, as you can see, it's coming along well. I'm happy enough with that, so we'll go back to the editor. Just bring that down a wee bit, probably. Okay, so now moving on to a new section. Now that we've got our header completed, I'm going to go ahead and get started with a hero section. So first of all, I want to change the title of this section just so we don't get lost, and I'm going to call it the hero section, just like shown in the last video on how to do that. And before we add an area here, I want to add a element, a strip. Just drag that in there. Okay, that's perfect. Drag that up. And then I'm going to use my toolbar to determine the length of the page. Because of course, when I want the visitors seeing this, I want them to only view this portion. So let's see, we'll use the toolbar again. Change it to 500. Maybe 550. 530. Perfect, okay. So that's the sort of screen size that I want them to see. And then I can change that color just so you guys can see that as well. So as you can see, that's the sort of first page of everything. You don't want it to be too big. Okay. Alright, so now, about strips. The great way with them is that they can prove to be responsive to the site as well. And as demonstrated there, I can add some layout to it, which is the columns, as you can see. So what we want to do with this one is I want to sort of create this hero section to welcome the user into the site while there's like something playing in the background. So what I could do is I can change the strip background for either a color as demonstrated, an image, or a video. So we'll go ahead and click on an image here, and we'll go for something nature. Let's see what I could pull up for us. Okay. So say I wanted to have a nature picture, something more nature, we'll see. Well, picnic in nature. We'll go for that one just for the demonstration. As you can see, it'll give me a picture. To me, it looks a lot nicer than just a solid colored background, especially if you're trying to create a sort of nature blog like I am. So that's the picture here. So I want to have a video, so I'll just have the video plan here. So I'll search for something to do with nature, see if I can find one. Okay, that one looks good. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And if I go ahead and preview the site, the video should play, as you can see. So it looks good, looking good already. I'm happy enough with how this is laying out. But what I want is a sort of hero section for a welcoming. So what I'm going to do is I will change the strip background setting and give it some opacity. see. See, of course, if it does that, what you can do is you can add another element, which is a black one. Okay. Well, you can drag that over it, over the hero section. Okay. Drag it down. And what you can have this doing is having that opaque like that. But I'll just leave it for that, because I don't want to overcomplicate it too much here. So we'll go and add a strip, just a nice plain one. Oh, sorry, not a strip. I'm gonna add a container. So I need to find a container. Go ahead and search that up. Container. Okay. There's a container box. So I think that's slap bang in the middle there. Okay, it is. And what I want to do, just so it's nice and clear for the user, just change the design so it's nice and bright. Change that to color white. Okay. And then I want to actually just border it up as well. So add 1px of that on black. And then with the corners, have it at a 5 radius. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks okay. Maybe I could do without the let's see the border. Maybe I can add some border to that. As you can see. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to add some text onto it. Edit that text so it's welcome. Okay, and then I want to just change that to the font text that we're using. And make it bold. Make it bigger. And align it. Okay, there you go. You can find the center here. We could actually just have it aligned to left side here, or yeah, maybe that is a little bit better as well. Okay. Then you can have like a tagline on the bottom if you wanted to. Let's see. Alright, so something like that you can have. So maybe we could angle that so it's like that, and then I would have this within for the regular as well. Not bold, but at a smaller length. Okay, so something like that. Starting to look good. And then I can have like a little decorative piece here, say like a horizontal line or something. Have it within here. Just list it there. Okay, and then bring that down. So that's like that. So it's just about getting creative with the site, of course, you know, just play about with it, see what's about, and then we'll add a little button to that. Doesn't matter what one. For the meantime, we'll just hit this one. Okay, shrink that down a little bit, and then I'm gonna have it say discover more, and then change the text within that. Okay, and change the font size to 12. Probably drop that down a little bit more. Okay, so something like that. Of course, you can have different sort of designs. It doesn't have to be this design that you have to create. You can actually do with extending that out a little bit more, creating a little bit more white spacing. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and preview this, see how it's looking. Very nice. I'm not 100% satisfied with the background. It just sort of doesn't reel a user in. So another great thing about these backgrounds is that you can actually add some effects to it. So here we have the background scroll effect. We'll go ahead and click on it. And as you can see, we've got a range of different options there, ranging from parallax all the way down to fade out. What I like to use is the parallax one because it gives a 3D look. So if I go ahead and enter that, as you can see, it scrolls with the site. And it just looks a lot better. I do think so. Gives it more of a modern feel to it. Okay, so I'm happy enough with that. We'll go back to the editor. So we've now covered the hero section, so that's how you can do it. Of course, there's other designs that you can do. You don't have to do the particular design that I've created, as shown from the last one. You can go ahead and get creative with it. And this one has a 3-column background, as you can see, with this here. So that's just all to do with adjustment, as you can see. So yeah, that pretty much just covers the hero section. Now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how to add sections and delete them. So as shown here from when we added this section for the hero section, you could just go ahead and click on add section. And of course there's different areas here where we've got the welcome, about, team, all the way down to clients. So let's just say if I did go ahead and select one, so let's just say I went ahead and do a promotional one and click on that. That straight off the bat goes under the section above. So if I go ahead and click on preview, and I'll just show you this. As you can see, we've got the hero section, and just below is the promotional. Now, it doesn't have to be just like that. You can go ahead and change the background of this promotional to a gray. And of course, if we preview that, that should show up gray, as you can see. So if you go back to editor. So, and then just say you don't want to have that section. Say you had a templated version like this, and there was an area of the site you didn't really want. The easiest way to remove it is just by clicking on it and go ahead and delete it, as you can see. So that's what you can do with this. So right click and click delete. Or you could just use the backspace or the delete button on your keyboard. So that's one way to do that. But we're going to go ahead and move on here again. So now we've covered that part of the tutorial. So of course we want to promote the sort of Northern Ireland or like the locations of it. So what way could we do that? And one way we could do that is just by adding a section and adding a image gallery. So you would go onto a section here, just click on a blank section for now, and that will give you a blank section, as you can see. We're going to go ahead and click on add elements. And if you scroll down to list, as you can see, there's like repeaters, hover, blank repeaters. I think, where is the slider? There it is. So if you go to gallery, you've got a list of different sliders. So here we have the grid or the artboard for Pro Gallery and a couple of different options. You can have a showcase or a slider. So there's just a bunch of different options there. I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop one of these into here. I'm going to show you guys how to customize it. Okay. So of course it won't come in, adjusted. You'll have to adjust that yourself, especially with finding the middle, which there it is. Okay. So if we go ahead and preview that, we'll see that through to the new one here. As you can see, it's just right on there. Okay. So we'll go back to the editor. Okay, and looks like, let's see. So if we go to, I have just made one mistake here. So I need to create this as my home page and then set this to home. Just gonna rename this. Okay. We'll go back to our home. Okay, so there's a few ways to modify this, of course. So we'll get our toolbox out of here. And we'll just adjust our PX to 600, just so we have a little bit more spacing. Go ahead, X that. So, as you can see here, we're not within full length. So instead of having to drag it like this and then get a message saying some of these aren't within the elements, there is a button here called stretch. If you just go ahead and click on that, you can stretch that out to the full width. So when you go to the preview, that'll be throughout the full width, as you can see. It looks nicer as well. It's more sleek. So that's a very, very simple way of adding sliders onto your website. And what's great about it as well is it's just pretty much just dragging, checking to see where you want it, positioning. There you go. Okay. So, and then if you wanted to change the pictures as well, you just go ahead and click on the Manage Media. And then from here, you can also switch them out, have them in different locations. Or you can just replace the images so we'll go to Media from Wix. And then there's a couple of nature sites there. As you can see, if I search these all up, get a range of different pictures. Okay. There you go. So if I click on done, that all changes. So it's a lot more of the nicer ones, as you can see. And if you just click on settings as well, This is where you can change out um, the layout as well if you want to. So there's different layouts there. There's the column one there, as you can see. Or you can go for something like a strip, which is a lot bigger. So just for the sake of this, we'll just keep it the way it was. I'm happy enough with that. So yeah, that sort of covers that part there about sliders. So I'm happy enough with that. Uh, Also, another trick that I should have showed you as well on the previous video is that if you click on the site design, you can actually change the site background, which is pretty cool. And then, so there's a lot of effects you can create for this, as you can see. Like you can have some parallax effects as from the background there, from where you can see. And this is great, especially if you're wanting to have a joined header. So say you want to change that background, you can do so. So if I change that column background and then I have that transparent, it'll show the background of what I chose, as you can see. But just for the sake of the site and trying to not complicate it far too much, we're going to go ahead and change it back to a normal white one. Okay, so happy enough with the progress so far. So now I'm just going to go ahead and just try to get some parts covered within the site, just try to make it look like a proper site. So we'll go ahead and add a section here, maybe add a sort of like, say a theme, and then from here you can have this. So as you can see, this was pre-made, so this would be a great example of how to do this. So as you can see, I can edit it out as normal. Of course, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, so you can go ahead and build it from scratch. Okay, something like that. And then of course you could change the images if you want to. As you can see, this one's a great example of one. This one's a repeater, and what they used was the one over in the list, and you've got some repeaters here, which is just the same thing, but obviously if I say I move this one, the rest should move, so it repeats what I do, but it doesn't change the text, thankfully. So something like that, as you can see. So you can have like, so as you can see, that's one there where it's meet the team. Okay, and then of course you have got that section where it says team, and then this one's untitled, so we could just say that that is gallery. Okay, so that's listed. I'll show you in a minute why it's very, very important to actually list out the names of these sections. So of course we've got our team there, and then we can have another section as well. And then maybe for this one, so I'll have a blank section this time again. And then I would like to add like a blog to this one. And here we have a list of different blogs, so I'm going to go ahead and click on one of them. Perfect. And then if I preview the site just to see how it's getting on, just to have a look. Okay, liking it so far. So we've got our sort of hero page here, our hero section, where it's introducing the person there. And then you've got our gallery section here, which what I'm going to do is actually link this button so it scrolls down and shows you the gallery. And then you've got meet the team, and then you've got your blogs. But I don't like all these blank spaces, so what I'm going to do is create another blog. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as shown from the gallery that I showed you earlier on, what you could do is you could stretch these out so it's the full width. Okay, and you can, if you click on manage posts, you can create your own posts. This is actually great for the search engine optimization for Google, especially since these create new pages for your site. Obviously, the more pages on your site, hopefully the better traffic you'll get. So this would be called something along the lines of ProfileTree dash just whatever context is in the URL, and it'll say now you can view your post. Now you can blog from anywhere, sort of like that. So I'm just gonna make a couple of dummy ones here. Replace the image. Okay, just before I talk through the what do you call this? The blog. I'm just gonna get these images in. So I'll just have nature here. Click that in. Let's see. Okay, we'll just do this one, sure. And then you can publish that. Okay, so we'll use another blog as an example here. So as you can see, you're able to edit. It shows you a total of 3 blogs. And if you look on the left side here, we've got an area for an overview, post, categories, tags, and readers. So if I sort of just bring it back, from here I can create new posts, which is really cool there. And then, or for all the default blogs, I can go ahead and add them. So if I go ahead and create a new post, we'll add a catchy title. So sites to see in Northern Ireland. So you can start writing there as it shows, and then on your sidebar here, we've got areas where we can add images. So let's see if we can find a picture of Ireland. Anything. Is it the Giant's Causeway? We'll go ahead and click on it anyway. Okay, so you can add a tagline. You can design this however you want, you see. And then, as you can see, there's the SEO settings, as I was saying. Obviously, you'll have the URL, and then it'll say sites to see in Northern Ireland. So that's what I was saying to you earlier on. And what's cool is you can have descriptions, as you can see here. And then, let's see, from the settings here, you can add a new writer. So let's just say you can just type whatever name you want. There you go. You can have an image. Something like that. Add that in. So you can have individual writers, as you can see, and you can have that as a featured post. You can monetize these as well if you want to, but obviously that requires a subscription. So yeah, something like that. So if you publish it and you're ready to go, you could do so. And then it'll give you that. Okay, and then obviously that's our blog post, and then that was not by ProfileTree support, but Michael. So if I go ahead and edit that again and show you around just, so it's not just images that you can add in, but what's really cool as well is you can add some videos in. And not only could you just add an uploaded video, but you can also add some URLs. So that's what's really nice about that. And then of course you can add some dividers, a button if you wanted to link to a page. You can even add some code if you wanted to as well. So yeah. Hopefully that briefly explains the blog. I don't want to get too in depth to it. If you do want to see a in-depth video about how to create a blog. There are some videos in our YouTube. So yeah. Another thing as well is with these blogs, what you can do is you can categorize them. So we'll go ahead and click on the categories. And as you can see, all of our posts, we've got 4 posts in total. We can create a new category. So let's just say we just name that one Northern Ireland. Of course, that'll be our category, Northern Ireland. Okay. So one category and no posts. And if we go back to posts, say you did have, this is very, very handy, and I'm going to show you why as well. So say these are the 2 posts I want under a category. So I can add that to category of Northern Ireland, and I can hit apply. So once I exit off these, so I obviously have, if I have 3 blog posts at the minute, so if I preview that, but obviously I've created 4 now. So as you can see, what you could do is you can go back to editor, and once it loads here, happy days. I'm actually just gonna run that so that's got 30px. Okay. If you click on settings, this is where you can adjust them. If I click on settings here, I could show all the posts. So if I click on Northern Ireland, like I showed you earlier on, it'll only show me the Northern Ireland posts. So that's really, really nice as well. If you're creating different pages and you only want to show specific blogs through that site, you can do so by doing that. Of course, we have 4 blog posts, so we want to change that to 4. So we'll go ahead and change that to 4. And then click the category of all posts. So now we should have all posts. As you can see, lines it up perfectly. We'll get rid of some white spacing there. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy enough with that. So that's our blog post. And of course, there should be more white spacing. I am hoping. Yep, as you can see, there's 1 more white spacing, and that's because we are running the sort of stretched. So what we're gonna do in order to prevent that is probably just margin it by 100. So let's see. Go ahead here, and then probably not 100, but 50. Can actually push to 80. Okay, so we'll preview that. Okay, there you go. So it's sort of like arranged that for us, so it looks a lot nicer, as you can see. I could have actually put that to 70 just so it matched, but all looks good. So sites coming along together. We've got our hero, gallery, meet the team, and our blog posts. Just so it ties in with the rest of the site, I'm going to do a couple modifications just so I could show like a title and stuff. So I want to push this down a little bit, all the way down to here. Send that down here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually just copy some stuffs over. Okay. And don't want to group those elements. I'm going to edit that text so it says blogs. Check. Alright. What's the latest? Oop. Latest. There you go. So let's just see if this site's coming along together. Have a view of it. Okay, we've got our meet the team, we've got our blogs. Okay, so it's coming along together. The only thing we're really missing is a footer and maybe a little bit more context to the site. Okay, so we'll move on to another section of the site. So if you do want to get a little bit creative as well, you can go ahead and change the background of these if you wanted to. So say I wanted an image with like a nature background. And then you do that. Of course, you could edit these text so it'll be white, just so it's a little bit more see-through. Yep, there you go. Change the design of that one, and then you're gonna have that one white as well. And of course, last one, white. And then of course that's gonna require a little bit of tinkering, since we changed it up a little bit there. Okay, so something like that looks pretty good. And then what you can do as well, so we'll just adjust that a little bit up. You can darken, should be able to darken the background of this as well. So if I wanted that to be colored black, I can do so. Okay, and then I can go ahead and change the scroll effects on this one to, I don't want it to rotate like that. Something like that. Okay, we'll have a look at it. Okay, it looks a little bit weird, so we'll change that again. And instead of 3D, we'll just stick with our favorite parallax scroll effect. Okay. Also noticed as well there that there was something here. So as you can see, if your wording is a little bit big, it will shrink it, as in it'll bring it and give you a section called more, and then under that more there was blog about in contact. So you could do it like that if you wanted to. As you can see, it'll automatically do it. Okay, but I'll have it like this. It's a lot nicer looking. So yeah, it's pretty much just up to you on what you want to add to your site. So that's what I've got going, and I'm happy enough. So now I'm going to finish it off with a footer. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Just extend that out a little bit. Okay, and then of course use your tool. Actually, I don't know why I'm not using that tool. I'm gonna increase that up to maybe about 300. We'll have like a newsletter going on as well. So of course what I want to do is add an element, which is a strip element. I'll go ahead and drag that in here. Okay. I want to have a little bit of white spacing left on the bottom part. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll just increase this a little bit. I'm going to decrease that strip size down to 380. Just so I have a little bit of space and I can drag that down. Okay. So I want to create a column where I've got a logo here, as well as all my other stuffs here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on layout, add the column. And now I've got two separate areas. I'm going to click on that, manage a column, and layout. And that's how you get this strip layout, by the way. So I want to do it 2575. Okay, manage the column there. Happy enough with that. Looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off by adding my logo. See, I'm gonna go ahead and copy that and paste it on here. Drag that into the middle and then change that column background to white. Okay. For this, I'm going to change that column background so it's nice and green. Okay. And I'm actually going to make it so that it's a little bit opaque. Or maybe it just, yeah. Okay. And just so it's tied in from the top, what I'm going to do is add a strip. So it's just pretty much just making sure that the site's looking nice. There's a lot of adjustments that you have to do, but it's of course going to make the site look nicer, then go for it. There you go, that's right in the center. I'm going to change that color to color green. Okay, just so it can tie in with the bottom part. Okay. And then from this, I want to have like a menu item and then just a newsletter and general social media. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to add my elements in. Text. Just add a paragraph in for the meantime. And then what I want to do actually, I want to split these into more columns. So I'm just going to go to my layout. And then let's see, you get a manage column and then add more columns. I don't want to really affect that one, so I can make do with this. Let's see. We'll delete that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and manage these columns a little bit, just so I can, because I need 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go to layout. That is along the right lines. It's just I want to give this one a little bit more give. Okay, that looks alright to me. Okay, we'll go ahead and copy that into this column. Okay. Nice, okay, there you go. That's our logo in. Got our 2 columns as well, which is good.